If you've been getting into the gym and you want to know how you actually build muscle, this is the video for you. My name's Adam. I've been weightlifting for a long time now. I've lost over 60 kilograms. At my heaviest, I was 167 kilograms. Now I'm around 105. So you're well informed here. You're well informed here. First point we have, what is hypertrophy? Hypertrophy basically just means muscle growth. That's what hypertrophy means. That's the fancy word for saying muscle growth. Okay, so what happens? What is muscle growth? How does it actually happen? You know, I've heard, yeah, when you use your muscle, it tears and then it repairs itself. Okay, that's basically what happens. So when your muscle is so stressed out, you do something. You say you're doing a bicep curl. You're doing a bicep curl, and you're making that face, that gritted face. Yeah. Your muscle is getting spasming. It's stressing out. You know, it's like the little strings in your muscle. Your muscle's made out of muscle fibers, and the little strings of your muscles are tearing. They're ripping a little bit. You know, when you pull a rope and it frays, it's got the little rips that come out. That's what happens. That's what's happening to your muscle when you do that. And those little frays, those little bits that break up, they're gonna get healed. And once they heal, the rope gets bigger. So that's your ropes are getting bigger. Think of your muscles as ropes. Think of your muscles as big ropes. And the more you use the ropes, the bigger they get. Okay? So let's say we have a dam. We have like a big valley and a dam. And we have water. The dam is protected from the water falling into the valley. If the dam breaks, then the dam was too weak. So we need to build the dam with stronger materials. So that's what I'm saying. If you have more water, then your dam is going to get stronger. Let me explain that again. So if you do more weight, your body's going to need to adapt to have more weight. The human body is an amazing thing. The human body is an amazing thing, and your body adapts to incredible things. You know, if you can't eat or drink for days on end, your body will learn to use your fat storage for water and for nutrients and energy. You know, your body is built to adapt in incredible situations, you know. So that, as I said again, you know, let's say everybody, we're working at a dam. Yeah, we're trying to protect this water from falling into the village. If the dam is too weak, if the dam is getting weak, then the water's going to fall off, okay? And when the water falls off, then we had to rebuild the dam. We have to rebuild the dam. So that's what we're doing. We're just rebuilding the dam stronger. Maybe you don't get that one, that's all right. But basically, we do this with progressive overload. You know, so your muscle fibers already got to a strength level, already gotten to a certain strength level. Okay, so that means we need to hit him with harder damage. We need to hit him with harder damage. You know, you've been doing the 5 kgs, yeah, on the bicep curls, but now 5 kgs is fine. 5 kgs is nothing. So you got to go up to 10 kgs. You know, your muscles are like a little war. It's like a little battle. You know, in the beginning, all you had was a little pistol. Now you have to get like a rocket launcher. You know, so that's what it is. You get stronger and stronger and stronger. You know, you only be able to bench maybe 60 kilograms, and then one day you'll be able to do 120 for reps. You know, so that's what it is. You just keep hitting them with new, different kinds of stress. You know. Progressive overload. This is the main thing that makes people grow. Okay, progressive overload is basically more weight. Okay, higher intensity. Okay, you can do training where it's high volume, but it's still progressive overload. You need to progress and overload. You know, that's the word, progress and overload. Okay, so over time, make sure you track your lifts. This is a great tip for this. Track your lifts, okay? So let's say you're doing 100 kg. You're trying to go for 100 kg bench press, okay? So let's say we're going to give ourselves 3 months to do 100 kg bench press, and we can currently only do 70, okay? So what would we need to do to get to 100? We'd need to add a little bit every time we train, okay? So this week we'll do 70. Next week we'll do 75. Next session we'll do 75. The session after that we'll do 80. Maybe we have to stay at 80 for a couple of sessions. Then we try to go to 95. Try to go to 85, then 90, then 95. Yeah, and maybe we have to stay at 90, 95 for a little while, and we build up to 100. That's progressive overload. That's increasing the weight over time. And your muscle is under so much stress that it needs to build and strengthen itself. Okay? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to stress our muscles out so much with the amount of load we're putting on them. We're working them so hard, yeah, that they need to grow and get better. Okay? And nutrition. What do we need to eat to gain muscle? To gain muscle, we need to eat more. We need to be in a calorie surplus. Okay? Now we can be in a calorie deficit and still grow some muscle, but it's optimal if you're in a surplus. Okay? Because look, at the end of the day, it's like a bank account. Your body's like a bank account. If you put £10 in, you know, you're going to be able to, it's like pay as you go, you know. Let's say you get 2,500 budget. Yeah, that's your maintenance, that's your budget, that's your maintenance calories, 2,500 calories, you know. That's fine. That's what you burn in a day, that's what you can eat in a day. And you not lose anything and you're not gaining anything. Okay, if you eat 2,000 calories a day, you'll lose a little bit of weight, lose a little bit of weight, lose a bit of weight. If you eat 3,000 calories a day, you'll slowly put on a weight, put on a weight, put on a weight, put on a weight. So if you want to put on weight, you have to eat more calories. Okay? If you want to put on weight, you have to eat more calories. And skinny people, they say they eat a lot, but they eat a lot, but they don't. You know, you need to be eating at least 2,500 calories a day if you want to just maintain a healthy male size. Okay? But not just 2,500 calories of biscuits. No, you're not just eating digestives all day, chocolate biscuits. No. We need to eat the proper foods. We need to eat foods like leafy greens. We need to eat foods like our protein, fish, eggs, chicken, beef, lamb. You know, healthy foods full of protein, these animal-rich proteins, these rich protein animal foods, okay? And we also need to contain we need meals that contain leafy greens, okay? Because this is the micronutrients that will help your body absorb even the things from the animal proteins and help your body just function better. It will provide your body with iron and different minerals, nutrients, okay? And that we also have carbohydrates. Now, some people do keto diet, but you don't need to do keto diet in the beginning unless you're looking to properly into that. But right now, carbs. We should have if we're having day-to-day living maintenance, we should have a moderate, a small amount of carbs on our plate. Yeah, like a medium to small. Right now, a lot of people in the UK, they have half of their plate is carbs, or if not, the whole thing is carbs. You know, we should only really have a quarter of the plate as carbs, I'll be honest, and half of the plate is vegetables or protein. Okay, so have less carbs if you're trying to lose weight or you are trying to maintain. Okay, but if you're trying to build muscle, you're gonna need some of that energy in the gym, some of that extra push, you know, that extra glucose and hydration, carbohydrate your muscles. Okay, so that's where we have maybe half the plate is carbs. Maybe half the plate is carbs. So stick to stuff you can do rice post-workout because it's a fast-acting carb. So rice, or you could have pasta. Pasta's nice. Couscous. These are fast-acting carbs. Couscous is very high in calories. So maybe you would want to go something with less calories like rice, for example. But some carbs I also recommend is potatoes. Potatoes are very low in calories though, so you might have to eat a lot of them, and they're quite filling. But they are better for your body than, say, rice, you know. But rice is a very good option, Okay. And next we have recovery. Recovery. So as long as you're eating well, you're eating enough protein a day. How much protein should you eat a day? 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's how much you, at least, maybe 1.2. Some people even say 2.2, but have at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Okay. So if you're not sure how much that is, I'm around 240 pounds. So I should be having at least 240 grams of protein a day if I want to build muscle, or at least maintain. Okay. So recovery, as long as we're eating enough protein and we're sleeping well, our bodies will repair that muscle. So if we don't sleep, you know, the medics from your body, you don't come out and fix the body. So we need to sleep to make sure our body is being fixed by the medics. You know, we need the builders to come through and build the dam again. Okay, our muscles are a dam, remember? We need the builders to come through and fix the dam. So they only come out at night. They're nocturnal guys. These are nocturnal builders, bro. So you need to sleep. You need to sleep, and your builders will come out and build your muscles again, and they'll build them stronger. But if they can't build if they've got nothing to build with. They like, how are they gonna build without their cement and their bricks? That's where the food comes in. Your food is you provided in the cement and the bricks. The builders come through at night when you sleep, and then they come and repair it. Okay? Now you might be getting sore after your first few workouts. Later on in your journey, you might be feeling less sore, but you're training hard. You're training regularly. Make sure you're training hard always. Yeah? You might not be feeling as sore anymore. That's okay. I don't feel as sore as I did when I first started. When I first started, I couldn't even move my arms. You know, my legs, I was standing on my tiptoes all day. You know, it was so much pain. Okay, but now you're an experienced lifter. Okay, when you're an experienced lifter, you don't get as much pain. Okay, but you should still feel a little bit of soreness. Or you know, it makes you feel good. It's like, oh, okay, I did work that hard a little bit. I did work that hard a little bit. But we shouldn't go off pain as our progress. We should go off progressive overload. Am I doing more weight than before? Am I doing a higher amount of reps in this weight? Am I doing a higher weight on this exercise? That's how we should do it. We should judge by the numbers, do the math, okay? And let's give you a fix. Let's give you something to take away from this video, okay? So let's build you a little high protein meal right now. So we got chicken. Have chicken, rice, and broccoli. That's a classic. That is a classic muscle building meal. Okay. So I like a little beef, mash, veg. Oh, that's a lovely one. Yeah. And let's give you one more meal. Let's think of a little bit of a minced beef and pasta. Have a little bolognese, spag bowl. You know what I mean? That's a little lovely one. There you go. That's 3 high protein meals that you could eat when bulking. Okay, but make sure you eat healthily. Don't just bulk with takeaway and McDonald's. Don't eat McDonald's, bro. Eat healthy foods. And don't forget to eat your vegetables. Yeah, don't forget to eat your vegetables. Okay. If you found this video helpful, please let me know. If there's anything you want to learn, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Follow for more. Get out there and kill it.